How one conspiracy magazine changed the world. Lock in. Here we go.
Extra Tug is $1 a week. It is $1 a week, and you get exclusive content. You get a lot of cool things. I mean, what are you spending $1 a week on? Gumballs?
Yo, real shit though. If you're getting something from a vending machine, what are you getting? Like those there's like usually like eight options. I'm always getting those. They look like knockoff M&Ms or Skittles, but they're like gum. They're like candy gum. That's always what I get. They cost 25 cents and you get a handful of them.
Long before the internet was making us brain-rotted, dumb little pig boys, we had a magazine called Weekly World News. It was one of
Weekly World News. I'm sure it's all right and zero propaganda, right?
Pied Pipers of conspiracies, sending seemingly well-adjusted normies down endless rabbit holes of aliens and cryptids. Strategically placed in the checkout aisles of grocery stores across this great nation, this tabloid magazine featured headlines that were too absolutely batshit insane to ignore. For instance, you had things like 10 more commandments found, you won't believe what they say.
Okay,
or
buddy.
grows human arms. You gotta find out what's going on. You gotta pick up that magazine. Or Abraham Lincoln was a woman, which it was technically a
They're just saying shit. Oh, astronaut held hostage by alien.
of its time. With also following it up, was John Wilkes Booth her jilted lover? I don't know what jilted means, but clearly this magazine peddled an absurdity, which made it really hard to ignore. The Weekly World News captured the imaginations of
Space alien baby survives. What the fuck, man? This fucking magazine.
moms, college donors, and conspiracy theorists for nearly 3 decades.
No, yeah, this shit is crazy. Genuinely, we're a minute in, and I've seen nothing but crazy shit.
And really confused children, such as myself. Whenever I went shopping with my mother, I'd look at that magazine, even when I was like 10, and I would think to myself, how can you legally get away with just lying in a newspaper? I feel like there should be laws against this.
There should be laws against
but not
this.
really. Just as long as nobody sues you, which is probably why they talked about Bigfoot a bunch of times. They loved talking about Bigfoot. But the twist here
Bigfoot's a fun conspiracy, especially since there is actually an animal that is a Bigfoot. If you've ever played the game Ark Survival Evolved, they have the prehistoric bipedal ape that with massive feet and like 7-8 foot tall. Those were real at one point.
is that Weekly World News
Gigantopithecus, I believe is his name. Yeah. So it's just a big fucking ape. And that would be mistaken for a Bigfoot, but also they went extinct too. So even if Bigfoot is real and it's one of those, that means they've survived. They're like some of the last of their species. You love that game too? Oh yeah, Ark Survival Evolved is literally no. I will say it right now. Ark Survival Evolved has had the hardest grip of addiction a video game has ever put me on. Dude, with it being like online, you can be raided at any time. I legit came home from school, played all day, played all the way until 6 in the morning, went to sleep for 2 hours, and then woke up at 8:30 to go to school. That was like a regular day for like 2 weeks because Ark just had me by the balls. Dude, oh my god. And the funnest time I ever had on Ark was, I mean, this is not going to sound good, but I made a friend in Ark, and he had like a wyvern, like a dragon. He pulls up, we become friends, and then next day, I'm hanging out with him again, and my friend joins our PS party, and he says like, "What's up, my N-word?" or something like that, and he's like, "Oh, so y'all racist, and then he's like, "Yo, I'm raiding your ass now," like just because my one fucking stupid ass friend. So as soon as he said that, we're like, we need to fucking get our shit out of here. So we get a raft. Oh my god, I loved using rafts. And we already had like a decent sized raft, but we just like loaded like everything we had on our base onto like two different rafts and like moved across the island. Oh my god. Like one of our friends stayed behind as a naked just to see when they came. They literally showed up like a minute after we left. Oh, that shit was awesome.
Wasn't all
Ark Survival Evolved, Rust, Fortnite, GTA, Minecraft. Those are probably all top 5 games of all time. Not in that order, but for me,
fake. They blurred
that
the
that
line
had that had me by the balls.
between fact and fiction with real-life sensational news stories and completely made-up shit on the same page. It was the prototype for everything from The Onion to TMZ to your uncle's weird Facebook feed. And it might just be the grandfather of fake news. See, we might learn something here today. There might be a moral at the end of this. And if you don't care about that, we're going to talk about Bat Boy, so be excited about that. This story actually starts a century ago when a paper called the New York Evening Inquirer first hit newsstands. From the beginning, it was known for pushing journalistic standards, often embellishing stories to get people to pick up the paper. And despite this blueprint, it was never a huge success. And by the time World War II rolled around, the paper's owner, William Griffin, took a hard line on anti-British, anti-New Deal, and isolationist stances.
Wait. Let's read some of these. Nearly $5 billion for war, patents and reports. Spaniards could easily. What? I don't know. Senate group asked British troops clear out of Iceland. Brits troops nearing Moscow. What? Sea struggle for Iran oil.
It turned a lot of readers off. Imagine if someone released a paper today saying Marxism is cool. A lot of people would not be chill with that. Or maybe the other one. I don't know. I don't know if he was doing liberal shit or conservative shit. Feels conservative. And eventually, William was actually indicted for conspiracy, accused of disseminating Nazi propaganda in the Great Sedation Trial of 1944. The news shocked Griffin, who allegedly suffered a heart attack when he heard of the charges. And though the charges were eventually dropped, he suffered bad health because he had a heart attack in the 40s, and I feel like they don't have a real way to... can't believe he lived. And he died in 1949. And that is when the mafia got involved. Whoa. Didn't see that coming, and it's allegedly it happened. Generoso Pope Jr. bought the New York Evening Inquirer with $25,000 loan from crime boss Frank.
I remember this time I destroyed everything this one guy grinded hundreds of hours for. He built this unbreakable futuristic base underwater, and I found the only opening and then destroyed everything in like an hour, and my inventory was empty and I had no gear low. Holy fuck. So you didn't get anything out of it either? Bro, that's sadistic, low-key. Yeah, I low-key, as much as I wanted to, I didn't participate in a whole lot of PvP. I tried to, but just a few things, like the servers and my Wi-Fi and a few different things. But bro, this one time, okay, we all spawned at this one beach and we stayed there forever. And I always, and we called it Lola's Beach because there was someone named Lola, who lived on the same beach as us. And we were like fucking with each other, and this one time they trank dart me, and okay, like zoom in, okay, whatever. Right here is what we called Lola's Bay, because right here was Lola's base, and our base was like right here, and this one time they tranked me, cuffed me, and threw me in a dungeon and was like force feeding me stims so I couldn't like get out and stuff. And I ate my own shit until I died. I killed myself by eating my own shit over and over and over again. Cause he like force feed me so I didn't like die. He was so mad when he got. The reason I did it because he was bragging and everyone thought he was better than everyone. Oh yeah. The cocky fuck, like, oh, you would never get into my base, and then you just easily rat it. Yeah. But bro, like that guy's mental health was in the shitter after. Oh yeah, we also built there's like a castle on this island, and that's where you find Gigantopithecus, by the way. And you can like ride on their shoulders. But you find them here a lot in the redwood forest. And yeah, but yeah, I made my main base like right here. And then we called this Dolphin Cove because the dolphin head. Yeah. But I remember when my one friend tried to live in the desert by himself for a while, and it just didn't work. He just died over and over and over and over again. Anyways, lock that in.
Stella, who just happened to be his godfather, and not in a mob way, in a Catholic
Yo,
way.
I wonder if I could find my first T-Rex that we trained. I took a picture of it.
Which is crazy. I can't imagine an Italian Catholic just going by Pope. That seems sacrilegious. But Pope reimagined the paper as a tabloid, shifting its focus to murder, freak accidents, and gory medical oddities. In 1957, he took the paper to a national audience, rebranding it as the National Enquirer, and just 1 year later, his tabloid was all.
I was a teenage hoodlum. My search for adventure led to alcoholism, crime, and depravity.
Already turning a profit, billing itself as the world's liveliest newspaper. Now there's a fun bit of irony when it comes to this newspaper being called the liveliest, seeing as it focused mostly on death. The Enquirer was notorious for bloody front pages and sensational headlines. Stories like, and these are all very real, police chief arrests his wife after she murders his secretary. Whoa! And model 17 times, dump body and garbage can, judge frees her after 3 months. I don't know if we have to bleep any of that. Maybe bleep what she stabbed. But all of this proved that the public, like all points in history, had a real bloodlust. And there was also whatever the hell this gem was. Barred from school because she's too ugly, Enquirer brings girl to US and we're giving her a new face. National Enquirer.
What?
Saving.
No, that's ridiculous. That's actually ridiculous.
The Enquirer brings girl to US and we're giving her a new face. National Enquirer, saving the Uggos, one face at a time. Ones aren't even the worst. Seriously, there are some so disturbing and gory I don't want even to describe them because I would get demonetized. But it just goes to show, you know how people are constantly talking about how wholesome and gay, but in the old-timey way America used to be. I wholeheartedly reject that. We were always monsters. Throughout the 60s, the Enquirer built a reputation for printing gruesome photos, and while it was profitable, Pope saw an opportunity to make more money by getting the paper in supermarkets. But there was a problem. People don't want to look at exploded dead bodies when they're buying grapes, so he had to tone down the goriness a wee bit. Starting in 1969, the gore was gone. Celebrities, diet and wellness, and rags to riches stories. And just 1 year later, circulation rose to over 1 million copies because of those good little grocery stores. God.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find the one of me and my friend with the T-Rex, our first T-Rex knocked out. Also, that was so stressful. Why did taming a dino take like an hour and a half? Like, well, T-Rexes especially. Like, T-Rexes took a long time.
They love buying groceries and reading the magazines and makeup.
And makeup.
I'm worried my girlfriend heard me say that. She'll hit me. The success of the Enquirer led to many new rivals jockeying for position in the same grocery store aisles and newsstands. And across the pond, there was the British tabloid The Sun, which was owned by, I don't know, some little dude named Rupert Murdoch, who you may know better as the demon that unleashed Fox News onto the world. When The Sun decided to print their tabloid, Pope followed suit in the Enquirer, which left the old black and white printer in Montana sitting dormant. So now he's got an issue. He's got this black and white printer in his warehouse, I assume, and he's like, God, well, I can't print my magazine in black and white. They're doing color over at The Sun. What do we do? Well, I have an idea, said the guy. Instead of shutting it down, Pope decided to take the same lawless spirit of the 60s Enquirer and pair it with the MO of Reader's Digest by collecting stories from around the world and digesting them into one magazine. Only instead of the best magazine writing money could buy, they were just gonna find every batshit insane story that they could get their grubby little paws on and put them in a magazine. Not only that, but they paid their writers so well that respectable journalists from the Washington Post and New York Times joined their staff. And in October of 1979, Weekly World News was born. Now, finally, we're at the fucking point of this video. I'm sorry I had to do all that exposition, but it's very important. You guys like
now the video starts.
History. You love weird little history facts, don't you, you dork, you pervert? Ex-employees say the early
pervert. I'm a pervert for wanting to know more.
of the paper contain
Yo,
about
fucking
80% of
sweet.
stories clipped from other
Cheeto
newspapers.
news.
Today, there are news aggregators and clickbait farms that practically do the same shit online. But back in the 80s, it was all done by hand. It was just people being like, oh god, does anyone have a newspaper from Iowa? We gotta
That
find
boy
something.
lives.
Papers from around the world littered the weekly world news
Truman has something racist.
newsroom, and the paper brought in a small crew of readers to find and clip out the most interesting articles. And then the stories would be rewritten to focus on the most parts of the story. It was a formula that worked well enough. The first issue sold about 100.
Wait, what? Weekly World News, Garden of Eden found. They found the Garden of Eden. They found the Garden of Eden.
20,000 copies. But Pope, the ever smart mafioso man he was, allegedly knew that you would need a little bit more than crazy stories to catch somebody's eye. So he kept pushing his staff for bolder,
First
more
photo of
exciting stories.
heaven. Oh my god, man. Like, what are we doing here? You're just going for the most wild thing ever.
Crazier headlines. Yeah, I was wrong. He did know that you needed crazy stories, but he needed crazier stories. So ignore what I said 2 seconds ago. And of course, factual news can only go so far in that direction, which led to an unspoken shift in the paper. Stories slowly became more exaggerated, increasing readership and keeping Pope happy. You want to keep Pope happy. It's very
This is the birth of clickbait. Like, where they have to make it sound so much more impactful and big than it actually
important
is.
that you keep Pope happy. But even as the exaggerations got bigger and bigger, they were still juxtaposed by actual news items from across the world. This created a borrowed credibility that was a little bewildering, with true accounts next to stories about, I don't know, UFOs. All written in very serious journalistic tone. No, this is real. Werewolves? Possibly real. Gonorrhea, it's spreading.
I love the
This is
picture he
real.
uses.
Werewolves?
It's like a nervous werewolf. Like,
Possibly real.
jacked werewolf,
Korea,
too.
it's spreading. Those are on the same page. And this was the murky birth of fake news, essentially. In 1981, Eddie Klontz, which is a fantastic name, he was a managing editor of Weekly World News. He was a 10th grade dropout, but by all accounts, a tabloid genius who ruled the newsroom with a philosophy. Do not fact check your way out of a good story, which is pretty much what I have been doing since I started this
Don't
channel.
fact check your way out of a good story. So, if something's interesting but you found out it's not true, still post it.
Just because I'm stupid, not because I'm trying to trick you. If a lady called and said aliens ate her laundry, the
The birth of engagement bait.
New York Times might say, do you have evidence? We'd say, oh, do you know if you like jeans or frilly stuff best? It might seem diabolical from a journalistic standpoint, but from a reader's standpoint, this shit was gold. Klontz once took a story about a Florida undertaker arrested for selling body parts to research scientists and came up with the headline, Florida man screams from the grave, my brain is missing.
What? that shit didn't even make sense, dude. That shit did not even make sense.
Florida man screams from the grave, my brain is missing.
My brain is missing. What?
Brilliant. Another time, an employee came in with an ultrasound of his daughter, and Klontz said it looked like a galaxy shaped like a human fetus. And sure enough, they put the ultrasound on their next cover with
New galaxy shaped like human fetus.
headline, It's alive, new galaxy shaped like human fetus, and scientists detect a heartbeat. How are you not going to pick up that paper? There's a galaxy, baby? Slowly, the embellishments became fabrications, and circulation
No, that's fucked up, man. You're gonna say Princess Diana is alive? For the 3 people who believe this, you just ruined their fucking week.
kept going up, up, up. But by the late 80s, Klontz was editor-in-chief, baby. And the circulation of Weekly World News hit 1 million readers per
You know,
week.
it was probably way more than 3 people who believed that paper, by the way.
It became wildly successful.
I mean, people still believe that Hitler's alive in Argentina. Even if he was alive in Argentina, he's not still alive in Argentina now, to this day.
and almost 100% made up, like every story was not real. But a lot of readers didn't care, they liked the goofiness of it, and a lot of readers didn't know it was a joke
Some people also think, Tupac's alive, all that stuff.
at all.
I will admit, I used to think Juice WRLD faked his death and went into the mountains to make music for 5 years, because he mentioned that once in an interview, and me and my friend were in, hardcore denial, nah, he's still alive, dude. He's just he's gonna come out in 5 years, aka 2025, and just drop the best couple albums ever.
When the paper ran stories about a hive of baby
That has not happened so far, so I think my conspiracy theory was wrong.
ghosts being discovered, over 1,000 readers wrote in offering to adopt one. I always say, like, as someone who makes content, I'll read the comment section. A lot of you are chill, but then I'll see some people, I'm like, wow, you shouldn't be able to vote. Like, you're not smart.
Wow,
right?
you shouldn't be able to vote.
And like, these people existed back then too. You just didn't know about them. They were trying to adopt baby ghosts. Moron.
Baby ghosts.
The secret sauce to Weekly World News wasn't just crazy.
Now imagine you're paying child support for a baby ghost. Like someone's just pretending like there's a baby there.
Crazy stories, anyone could have done that. What made them so popular was their world building. The tabloid had its own lore, with reoccurring characters that got up to hijinks constantly. For example,
they have their own characters with lore.
Elvis. They didn't.
Yo, is that an edited picture? Or is his face actually this long? Because it looks elongated. I really hope this is an edited photo, because if not, I'm making fun of him. But like, bro, what?
They didn't like make Elvis, but they made Elvis into something else. In 1988, they made up the headline, "Elvis is alive, King of Rock and Roll faked his death and is living in Kalamazoo, Michigan."
Is that a picture of an alien dumping liquor on a woman?
Headline, "Elvis is alive, King of Rock and Roll faked his death and is living in Kalamazoo, Michigan." Which is crazy, but just for context,
Kalamazoo.
if you don't know this, but Elvis was huge, big deal, most famous person almost ever at the time. Hard to imagine today, but if he's like Michael Jackson and Taylor Swift if they had a baby and that baby was covered in sequins. So even a decade after—
No, I'm gonna hard disagree on that. Michael is way bigger than Elvis. Michael is way bigger and way better than Elvis.
his death in 1977, he had millions upon millions of fans. The addition of the Weekly World News,
and Michael has billions.
with the Elvis story, became the greatest seller ever and created the late 20th century phenomenon of Elvis sightings. But it's Weekly World News, baby, and they're not gonna drop some hot pock, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna keep rolling a story. They're gonna keep building on it. Elvis was spotted everywhere. He was cloned. He had a twin, and eventually they killed off the character, reporting that Elvis died from diabetes in 1993 at the age of 58. And then they reported that their own report of him dying was a hoax and he was still alive again. This is good stuff, baby. They also created long narrative arcs for
Yo, what the fuck is Trump doing here? Jesus! Car alarm predicts future. Loch Ness Monster sold. Did penny pinching Scott's sell Nessie to Donald Trump. So Donald Trump bought the Loch Ness Monster, apparently. World's oldest go-go dancer. And Jesus' tomb was found. What the... Yo, wait, what? Bigfoot had a kid? Bigfoot had a child, apparently?
like the Loch Ness Monster.
What the fuck is Trump doing on a Loch Ness Monster, though? Genuinely.
And of course, they kept a running gag that UFOs and aliens would endorse presidents and give them rides in the UFOs. Just fun stuff. But their most enduring and endearing character of all time was Bat Boy.
Memes before social media, literally. They're all, it's literally, that is literally just a meme, though. Fucking Donald Trump riding the Loch Ness Monster. Like, I always forget that Donald Trump was, like, big before, like, he started running for presidency. Like, he was in Home Alone in New York. Alone in New York.
God, do I love
Like, he was a celebrity and, like, a billionaire.
Bat Boy. Bat Boy was born in 1992 when a Weekly World News artist tried creating an alien baby, and someone else suggested it looked more like a bat human. And that was enough to get plastered
it looks more like a bat child.
On the front page with the headline, Bat Child Founding Cave. Bat Boy became a wildly popular reoccurring character and story with such delicate updates such as captured by the FBI, escaped, led police on a high-speed chase.
What the fuck? Led them on a high-speed chase.
Boy, bit Santa Claus, and fought in the Iraq War.
Fought in the Iraq
War. The Onion couldn't write shit this good, in my opinion. Somewhere along the Weekly World News 28-year history, they became a...
Gal can shove entire baseball in her mouth. Child talks to dead grandpa on phone. Hitler captured Nazi hunters catch fur boarding ship in Peru. Nazi madman trapped on his way to Iraq to help Saddam Hussein.
parody of themselves. And even though in modern times that sounds like a damning criticism, it's exactly what the readers wanted with Weekly World News. The wilder the stories got, the more people bought the magazine. And when you think about it, that's pretty much the same compulsion that drives clickbait in cable news today. I guess you could argue that the most human aspect of ourselves is the fascination with bloodlust and the extreme. And they managed to tap into that same morbid curiosity.
Oh my god, 3 boobs. With, what? Shocked Hillary. I thought he was a leg man. What?
That makes people
Oh, a leg man, like he likes legs.
slow down to
Brother.
check out the wreckage of a car
What?
accident. Only this rubbernecking took place in the checkout counters of grocery.
Bro, I still see these things, and it's like Harry and the princess are having issues. King Charles slips on Ice Cube.
Stores across the country. And with that same spirit in mind, I just want to talk about the best headlines that they've ever come up with. I just have a list of them. I'm calling it the Weekly World News Roundup, and we're just going to go through these because holy shit, this is just so fun to talk about. First, let's start by taking a look at their groundbreaking reporting on Satan, our friend and family. Obviously, I know him personally over on extratug.com, shameless pitch, but it looks like he was actually up to a lot of shenanigans before.
That's a cool photo, though. That's a cool photo.
I signed him to my talent roster. In 1992, the Weekly World News reported that Satan's face is in Hurricane Andrew, which is, I guess he was hanging out in that. And that's actually not the only run-in they had with the Prince of Darkness. Turns out he was at a lot of really big world events. A headline from May of 1993 reads, Face of Satan appears over Waco, Texas. Hell yeah. In the following year, Face of Satan rises over Haiti. He appears again in January of 2000 with Face of Satan seen over U.S. Capitol. And
No, this is some shit I might fall for, though. Like, I might fall for that. Not that I believe it's actually the devil, but believe that those pictures were real and it's like a coincidence.
On Earth, and I'm not sure there's anywhere else to go besides appearing on the Earth itself, but I'm glad this bit came to a logical end. But of course, if Satan is real, then so is God.
Oh, Noah's Ark found on Mars. Oh my god. That boy foils nuclear bomb plot! Epstein's stupid twin, dead ringer, is dumber than a bag of rocks. A box of rocks. What the fuck am I looking at right now? Honors his incredible bravery. Oh my fucking god.
But the Weekly World News reported, don't bother going to church, says ex-preacher, heaven is full. Then there was this one, duck hunter shoots angel, with a picture of an angel lying face down in a pond, which is hilarious. Then there's the less offensive Garden of Eden found. People, of course, are going to be looking for that. But what I like about this article is that they claim that the original apple was found and that the U.S. government was growing more of them using seeds from the apple of knowledge, which I find so endearing. And they weren't afraid to mix a little politics with their religion. With the cover, 200-foot Jesus appears in Washington, and the more globally minded, 500-foot Jesus appears.
Oh my god, did I say Epstein is the divine sign? Fuck.
200-foot Jesus appears in Washington, and the more globally minded 500-foot Jesus appears.
Bro, I just did such a deep dive on a fucking Epstein case. I think I've called Einstein like Epstein a few times now.
UN. It's just crazy that these guys are the only ones reporting on this. Like 500-foot Jesus shows up at the UN. Come on, ABC News. But not only were they not afraid to add God and politics to the mix, they were afraid to get aliens in the show too. And what they discovered might shock you. Alien Bible found. They worship Oprah.
They worship Oprah.
What the fuck? Coyotes protect alien baby from cops. That's just adorable. I love that. But of course, aliens have to make a living too, which we learned with the revelation that, quote, half of US hookers are space aliens and they don't have sex organs. What? But maybe my favorite all-time headline from Weekly World News, involving aliens or not, is gay aliens found in UFO wreck. Not an
They just have a fucking long-skulled skeleton hugging another skeleton. I became a porn star to pay for my mom's face. Okay. I mean, she's hot, though.
Ounce of fat on that one. Like, gay aliens. Like, if you said UFO found, that's exciting. Gay aliens? How do we know that?
Yeah, how do you know they're gay?
What did we do to them? It's just so many questions. I need to read that article. Now, aliens were a huge part of Weekly World News, but nothing compared to Weekly World News' obsession with cryptids. Bat-Boy was a huge deal, of course, but that wasn't their only creation. In
Goat man.
1993, they claimed half alligator, half human found in Florida swamp. And obviously this is Florida, so I'm inclined to believe them. At least one of those Florida men have had sex with an alligator. That's true.
Yeah, at least
mini
one.
mermaid found in tuna sandwich. Oh, this next headline is great. You think you're gonna know where it's going, but you have no clue. California woman has werewolves baby after romancing man beasts on cruise ship. How did the werewolf get on the cruise ship? This next cover, I'm warning you, is nightmare fuel. It's a bit much. Half man.
By the way, Big Tug, the way they got on the ship was they're a man beast, so they're half man, half beast. So when they got on the ship, they were obviously a man.
Half dog baffles doctors. My wife loves the way I look, says 38-year-old newlywed. Why? Okay, like 38 is kind of old to be getting married. I don't know. It's just like the world building and just the titles is so interesting. How could he have lived for 38 years and not been discovered to be a werewolf? You know what I mean? And then he finds love at 38. That's amazing. But as much as
it was a werewolf.
The way I look says.
So it's just a half man, half dog. Yeah.
38-year-old old thing. How could he have lived for 38 years and not been discovered to be a werewolf? You know what I mean? And then he finds love at 38? That's amazing. But as much as it haunts me, there is no better Weekly World News headline than, and this is, guys, I know I keep saying this one's the best one, but this is my favorite one of all time. Like every bit of it is important, okay? Bigfoot kept lumberjack as love slave. Let's explain that. You're in the shop, you're with your shopping cart, you're reading headlines, right? You stop, you look at that. Bigfoot, I'm already in, right? Kept lumberjack. Okay, so Bigfoot has captured somebody and a lumberjack, which I don't think exists anymore, but in my head I'm thinking of like the brawny paper towel brand. Bigfoot overpowered a very strong man as love slave?
As a love slave?
How'd you find out about this? Did the guy get out? Is he still with him? Is he happy? Give me that newspaper. That is 3 funny things in a 6-word headline. The Onion misses harder than these guys ever did. Beautiful in its simplicity, we need to teach this skill to children in school. This should be their English reports on Weekly World News. But like I said, Weekly World News legacy probably lies on Bat-Boy. On his wings, this scrappy black and white tabloid soared. He was on t-shirts. They started a comic for him. Even if you didn't read the newspaper, you were aware of who Bat-Boy was. Hell, there was even an off-Broadway show that premiered in 2001. It was called Bat-Boy, the Musical, and here's a synopsis of the show. After being discovered in a cave and adopted by a local family, Bat-Boy, also known as Edgar, wants nothing more than to be accepted. But will his unsatiable bloodlust be his undoing, or will the bloodlust of the town, searching for an easy scapegoat, beat him to the punch? Jesus Christ, take my entire f***ing wallet. Unfortunately, the musical never made it to Broadway, but it has been revived several times, most recently in 2025, when the New York Times named it Critics' Pick, calling it an operatic mix of tragedy and grotesquerie, hilarity, and emotion. The art, guys, come on. And I guess that exact breakdown is what perfectly sums up Weekly World News. That and gay aliens and lumberjack love slaves. Thank you for watching. In the comment sections, I'm gonna give you, it's gonna be comment bait, obviously, for the algorithm, but I want you to try to, like when we did like 2-word horror stories, I want you to write your most concise, perfect headlines for Weekly World News, and we're gonna rank them. Everyone's gonna like the ones that are good. Write a headline for an article. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to write the article, but like make me wanna click on it and use the least amount of words possible. I wanna see if we can do that. Like, comment, and subscribe. New videos every Saturday and sometimes Wednesday. Check out extra.
All right, W video.